It was around 8 or 9 years ago that I had a vision that instantly changed my life and the way that I saw motherhood. At the time, I was a mum to two really young children. They were only 14 months apart. My family and I had recently moved, and we were trying to build a new life in a completely new place. My husband went straight into work, and I stayed home with the children. The reality was I didn't know anybody. I didn't have any friends. I didn't speak the language. Many people did speak English, but there was just a different culture, and it was just really noticeable. That was really difficult. After a few months, my husband and I started to go to a church with our children, and at that time I believed in God, but I didn't have a real relationship with Jesus. I didn't know him as my saviour and friend. During that season, I began to feel really isolated, very isolated. I didn't know who I was anymore, and I felt like I'd lost my sense of purpose, even though I had two beautiful children and a really supportive husband. Looking back, I think many mothers can relate to this. When you're raising young children and going through big life changes, it can feel like you lose part of yourself. My patience became very limited, and that's completely out of character for me. I often just wanted to be alone. The way I was feeling started to affect the way I interacted with the children and my husband, and I felt guilty and emotionally drained. During that time, I started to read the Bible, and I found it really comforting. I began reading a book about motherhood as well, and that described motherhood as a ministry. I hadn't thought about motherhood like that before, and something did start to change in my heart. I actually went to the doctor. I just needed a little bit of help. The doctor gave me practical advice and helped me understand that I'd simply been through a huge change in my life. The conversation I had with that doctor stayed with me because he helped me to realise that what I was experiencing was real, and he listened, and that was the most important thing, and I won't forget that. I won't forget that he gave me time. I still felt like something deep down was shifting in me. One night I went to bed and I had a really vivid dream. It felt so real. When I woke up, I remembered every detail and realised that in the dream that I was the person that was being shown something really important. I was being shown a verse from the Bible, a verse that I have held on to ever since I'd had that dream. In the dream, I was standing in one of the rooms in our house. Inside that room, there were many things that represented Jesus. Ornaments on the shelf above the fireplace, pictures on the wall, Bibles, Christian books. Everything in the room represented faith in some way or other. What happened next in the dream changed how I saw my life. I suddenly became full of rage and started smashing everything in the room, everything that represented Jesus, everything about Jesus. I wanted to destroy it. It was chaotic and emotional. It was like anything that represented Jesus in that room, I did not want to be in that room, and I was smashing everything up and just wanted to get rid of it all. And then I woke up. After waking up, I knew exactly what the dream meant. The Bible verse that immediately came to my mind was, "The wise woman builds a house, but with her own hands the foolish one tears hers down." In that moment, I realised that I was the woman in the dream, not just in the vision, but in real life as well. I'd become so inwardly focused and consumed by my emotions and struggles. I was unintentionally tearing down everything in my home. I wasn't making Jesus the centre of everything I did. I wasn't making Jesus the focus in my family life and in motherhood. I wasn't seeing motherhood as a ministry, and I wasn't seeing the gift that God had blessed me with, the gift of children and the gift of family, and I just was destroying that. I was so consumed with my thoughts of not wanting to be in that place and not knowing who I was. I'm not saying mothers should ignore their mental health or pretend they're okay when they're not. Me personally, this vision was God lovingly waking me up. He was showing me that I needed him at the centre of my life, my motherhood and my home. I realised my husband and children needed me to be emotionally present. My children were not interruptions to my purpose, they were part of my purpose, and they were gifts from God. The vision was the beginning of a huge transformation in my life and motherhood journey. And this is the reason why I started this channel, because I know there's other mothers sitting in isolation right now, feeling lost, overwhelmed, emotionally drained, disconnected from who they once were. And if that is you, I want you to know you're not alone. There is hope, and sometimes God meets us right in the middle of our breaking point. The dream completely changed how I understood motherhood. It helped me realise that motherhood isn't just a role, it's something deeply meaningful. It can be a calling, a ministry, and a place where God is working in ways we might not always see. And that experience was the beginning of a deeper relationship with Jesus that continues to shape my life today. I feel really strongly that more mums need to know that they're not alone. So if you would help me in sharing this message by subscribing or liking or making a comment, that will help the channel to grow and help more mums to be encouraged through this channel. Thank you.